Wow, I got a lot of books here. A Dovetail A Day, day 7. I got the box here. I got a comment from somebody saying that I should change some things up. They were all great comments. It was from a guy named YouTube User 501. Hope he doesn't mind me calling him out. I'm gonna take this apart in a little while and get to it. So this is day 7 of cutting out 30 dovetails in a day. I've missed a couple of days. I feel bad about that. Sorry, whatever, been in a headspace. But I want to get to the comment because I think a lot of the things that he said was pretty relevant. Tips. Here we go. Get a marking knife instead of a pencil. Makes much more precise lines to cut to. I agree with that. However, I'm going to grab something here real quick. Oh, I got a broken pencil point. So, here's my marking knife. Here's my pencil with a broken pencil tip. In school, when I was in school, I went to a woodworking school, North Bennett Street School in Boston. That's where I cut out things like this case back here. I agree with what he said. Cut and pare to the line that you get off this marking knife, it's much easier to cut to. But I remember we had an instructor, Lance Patterson, the dean of period furniture. He always said that if you use a pencil, like this is kind of an extra step. You don't really want to. It's hard to do, whatever. If you use a really sharp pencil and you cut to it, you're practicing cutting to a line and you get to learn the nuance of cutting to that line. Instead of cutting to a perfectly precise, already cut in line, you're cutting to a pencil line. I think that's one thing. This is a good one. He said, when you're paring with a chisel, always try to work towards the center and avoid going out the far side or you'll end up with tear out. This is what he's talking about. So if I grab a chisel, we're gonna get to this dovetail, about how the dovetail felt in a little while. Dovetail section 3. So that is 3 right here. So let's bang this bad boy apart. Oh, all right. So what he's talking about when you get your chisel and you don't just blow through the back because you might get blowout, he's talking about kind of coming in to the middle and then coming into the middle. If you do that, if you push through and you're paring like this, when you get to the back, it could blow out the back corner. That happens quite frequently. There's this technique you can use with your chisel if you get good enough, where when you come through and you're about to pare out the back, you kind of roll it and it slices it. You can use that. That'll work. Some more thoughts. This was the second comment in a different video. Some more thoughts. Same guy. You have the workpiece really high in your vise, which you get a lot of vibration and inefficiency. So in a lot of my videos, I have my piece clamped really, really high. That's because my back has been killing me because I'm just not used, the back muscles aren't there. I'm just not used to doing it. So I had it really, really high. And with that, when I'm pushing, when I'm sawing, I'm getting a lot of deflection, kind of wiggle in this. He's right. That I wanted to change. I had mentioned in one of the videos to make this clamp that gets it higher. He actually commented on that. He said I built a Moxon vise, I think that's what it's called, a Moxon vise that you clamp into your bench and then that elevates it. All these things are great points. He said, this is a funny one. He said, having your fingers behind the piece while you're paring, he said, I don't know if I would trust that. The whole reason I was doing that, because the bench was low. My bench is the bench that I've had since I got out of school, and I built it really quickly because I needed to get into making projects. It's super light. It's like just the force of pushing was making the whole bench move. So I was like bracing it with my fingers on the front and the back so it wouldn't push my bench. That was the whole reason I was doing that. So one day, I'm gonna build a better bench. Oh, he said, if you have any ambitions of making dovetails on something harder than pine, you're going to want to use a mallet to drive down the chisel rather than paring. Oh, so he's talking about when you're cutting down on the waist, that would be on the tail side. When you're cutting down on here, using a mallet. I think I end up doing this. I've filmed all the videos. I'm just now getting to edit them. I did that, some of them. I started getting better with the coping saw eventually. You'll see. What else does he have? Unless your coping saw skills are way better than mine. He said, if this is your 6th dovetail, you're on an amazing trajectory. This is not my 6th dovetail. I've cut out a lot of dovetails. The point of this exercise was for me to try to get better at what I was doing, at something that I used to do, that I used to be really, really good at, that I'm not good at anymore. I was really good at dovetails. I did that whole case, I did a bunch of other furniture, and I had a furniture making company for 10 years. I didn't really cut very many hand-cut dovetails in my furniture making company. Sorry, my daughter and her friend are playing outside and that's all I can hear and I can't really focus. I didn't cut a lot of hand cut dovetails because I created my business the wrong way. I thought I just had to be this general woodworker. I wanted to create handmade goods. It's hard to get, you got to be really fast and you got to be really good so you don't charge too much. I'm going off on a tangent here. Let's get back to what he said. He said for videography, it's hard to see the results from the shadows and the closer camera. I'd love to take a better close-up and more voiceover about what you think, what you did better from last time. Would also be interested in clock timer. Okay, so last two things that he put on here which are relevant. He wants to see the results of the dovetail. So I am actually going to take this one apart and show you a little bit closer. We have here, oh, that's two. All right, take this bad boy apart and then get this together. I'm going to come over closer to the camera here. All right, so look, here's what we got. We got tails, we got pins. This was Dovetail 7. This was almost 30 days ago at this point, so maybe even more. So I don't really remember how everything went. This one was pretty loose. I do remember I did this one really early in the morning. I feel like I'm always a little bit more creative in the morning. Can you see that? Yeah. Let me get you a little closer there. So this one came out really well. I really like the way this one came out. There's not actually shadow lines. These are the pencil lines I'm cutting to. This dovetail was actually very tight. All these lines are pretty tight. Like if I just put a little bit of force on there, all these lines go together. I took my time on this one. This one went really well. I took my time. I really liked it. It could be tighter. And then the last thing he said was, would also be interested in seeing a wall clock timer. The overall time on this video, I wrote it down, 31 minutes, 29 seconds. Now there's some stuff in there where I set up cameras and walked over, swept the floor, whatever. In total, day 7, from start to finish cutting dovetails, 29 minutes it took me. 29 minutes to cut out one set of dovetails. That is a pretty long time in pine. This isn't hard maple, which can actually be better in my opinion. Pine's really soft, spongy. It's kind of like, imagine if you're cutting a sponge in your sink, it's like really hard, like kind of squishes. It's really hard to cut a straight line. Pine's kind of like that. Harder woods, maple, walnut's great for cutting. I really love paring walnut. They actually, even though they're harder, they can be a little bit easier to work. I know that doesn't make sense. Keep your tools sharp and it'll work fine. That's everything for a Dovetail a Day, day 7. I've already showed you 6 videos with me cutting dovetails. This one, I wanted to talk more about the process, how it's going. I think it's going really well. 7 days, I already feel a lot more confident. I remember thinking I was in a really creative mood. I felt really good about what I was doing. Day 7, I'm gonna call it a win. Oh, I wanted to show you the last thing. I didn't write anything in the journal for this one. This one is, it's a photo journaling. I saw this video on YouTube where this guy did photo journaling and it was more of drawing to kind of get the creative processes rolling. Maybe that's why this one went so well. Day 7 of 30, it says trying something new, telling a story about life and what happens when you show up every day. Yeah, this is the first video because I realized I'm getting older now and I'm like doing that long arm thing. I bought these cheater glasses and I was using these during the process. They're like magnifiers and this is like, holy moly, this is incredible. Things are so zoomed in. Wow, I can read so much. I should have had these on when I was reading the comments so I wasn't squinting. But then when I take them off, my eyes take forever to focus. This is the first video I use these on. I don't know about this. I don't know how far I can go with these things. All right, so that's it. I hope you enjoyed. Have a great day. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you on the next one.